too many people here that wants to be Mr. Olympias and they're not. So why rub it in?
Intense training is purposeful behavior aimed at the goal of increasing muscular size and strength. In order to
Tear down this mirror that makes you always look at yourself, and you will be able to look beyond this mirror. If you want to excel in whatever you do, those rules are for you. It's that simple.
The infamous insult. Alright, buckle up because we're diving into some juicy bodybuilding drama from the 1980 Mr. Olympia contest. Picture this, the stage is set, the crowd is buzzing, and the tension is palpable. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Austrian oak himself, is facing off against his rival, the legendary Mike Mentzer. Now let me tell you about the moment that sparked one of the most infamous feuds in bodybuilding history. During the heat of competition, Schwarzenegger, never one to hold back, decided to take a jab at Mentzer's physique. With all eyes on them, Arnold unleashed the infamous insult targeting Mentzer's stomach. He reportedly said, "Hey, you have a fat stomach anyhow." Ouch! Talk about throwing shade on the biggest bodybuilding stage. Now you can imagine Mentzer's reaction. Here he is, pouring his heart and soul into his physique, only to have Schwarzenegger publicly mock him. Mentzer, known for his intense dedication and no-nonsense attitude, didn't take the insult lightly. He didn't hesitate to show his displeasure, and things quickly escalated between the two titans of bodybuilding. But here's the kicker, it wasn't just a momentary spat. Schwarzenegger's words had a lasting impact on Mentzer. You see, Mentzer was already a deeply introspective guy, and Arnold's insult hit him where it hurt. It not only wounded his pride, but also planted a seed of doubt in his mind. Mentzer, despite his tough exterior, was human after all, and Schwarzenegger's provocation weighed heavily on him. In the aftermath of the incident, Mentzer's mindset shifted. The once promising bodybuilder, known for his potential to dominate the sport, found himself grappling with inner demons. Schwarzenegger's words lingered in Mentzer's thoughts, fueling a fire of resentment and driving a wedge between them. And thus, the stage was set for one of the most bitter rivalries in bodybuilding history, all sparked by one simple insult at the 1980 Mr. Olympia. Feud fuel. Alright, let's delve into the nitty-gritty of bodybuilding philosophy and how it fueled the rivalry between Mike Mentzer and Arnold Schwarzenegger. First off, we've got Mike Mentzer, the HIT enthusiast. HIT or high-intensity training is all about efficiency. Mentzer believed in short, intense workouts with fewer sets and longer recovery periods. He argued that this approach maximized muscle stimulation without overtraining, leading to optimal gains in strength and size. Mentzer was a firm believer in pushing muscles to failure with precision and focus, rather than mindlessly pumping iron for hours on end. On the flip side, we've got Schwarzenegger, the poster boy for traditional high-volume training. For Arnold, bodybuilding wasn't just about building muscle, it was an art form. He saw each workout as a masterpiece, meticulously sculpting his physique with a symphony of repetitions. Schwarzenegger embraced the grind, advocating for longer workouts with multiple sets and shorter rest periods. He believed that volume was key to achieving the aesthetic perfection he sought on stage. Now you can imagine how these two philosophies clash like heavyweight contenders in the ring. Mentzer's HIT principles stood in stark contrast to Schwarzenegger's volume-based approach. While Mentzer preached efficiency and precision, Schwarzenegger extolled the virtues of dedication and perseverance. Their differing philosophies weren't just about lifting weights, they represented two fundamentally different outlooks on bodybuilding itself.
intense training is purposeful behavior aimed at the goal of increasing muscular size and strength. In order to
tear down this mirror that makes you always look at yourself, and you will be able to look beyond this mirror.
And here's where the feud comes into play. As two of the biggest names in the bodybuilding world, Schwarzenegger and Mentzer weren't just competing on stage, they were also competing ideologically. Each saw their own training method as superior, and they weren't shy about letting the world know it. Their clash of philosophies fueled the fire of rivalry between them, with each striving to prove the superiority of their approach. Clash of personalities. Alright, let's dive into the clash of personalities between Mike Mentzer and Arnold Schwarzenegger because trust us, it's as fascinating as it gets. First up, we've got Mike Mentzer, the introspective thinker of the bodybuilding world. Mentzer was known for his serious demeanor and deep analytical approach to life and lifting. He wasn't one to just pump iron, he approached bodybuilding like a science, constantly questioning norms and seeking out the most efficient methods to achieve his goals. Mentzer was the guy you'd find buried in books, pondering the philosophical implications of muscle growth while the rest of us were busy doing bicep curls. On the other hand of the spectrum, we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, the larger-than-life showman with charisma for days. Arnold was the epitome of the extroverted bodybuilder with a personality as big as his biceps. He thrived in the spotlight, captivating audiences with his charm and wit, both on and off stage. Schwarzenegger wasn't just a bodybuilder, he was a master of self-promotion, using his charisma to elevate the sport of bodybuilding to new heights. Now you can imagine how these two personalities clash like oil and water.
It is a physiological fact that during exercise, the larger muscles of the body demand more energy than the smaller ones.
If you want to excel in whatever you do, those rules are for you. It's that simple.
Mentzer's serious analytical nature stood in stark contrast to Schwarzenegger's outgoing flamboyant persona. While Mentzer was busy dissecting the intricacies of muscle fiber, Arnold was busy smooching with Hollywood celebrities and gracing the covers of magazines. But it wasn't just their differing personalities that fueled the feud between Mentzer and Schwarzenegger. It was also their conflicting approaches to fame and success. Mentzer was a bit of a rebel, unafraid to challenge the status quo and speak his mind, even if it ruffled a few feathers in the bodybuilding community. Schwarzenegger, on the other hand, was all about ambition and self-promotion, leveraging his larger-than-life persona to become one of the most recognizable faces in the world of fitness. Ambition versus introspection. Alright, let's take a deep dive into the competitive nature of the Schwarzenegger-Mentzer rivalry, because trust me, it's a roller coaster ride of ambition and introspection. First things first, both Schwarzenegger and Mentzer were cut from the same cloth when it came to ambition. These guys weren't just in it to pump iron, they were in it to dominate the bodybuilding world. They had a relentless drive for success that pushed them to their limits and beyond. Whether it was in the gym or on the stage, Schwarzenegger and Mentzer were always striving to be the best of the best. Now let's talk about the psychological warfare that went down between these two titans of bodybuilding. Picture this, backstage at the Mr. Olympia, tension is high as Schwarzenegger and Mentzer square off. They're not just flexing their muscles, they're flexing their minds too. Verbal jabs are exchanged, egos are bruised, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Inherited some pretty good genetics. His father is German and his mother is Italian.
It's a battle of wits as much as it is a battle of biceps. But here's the thing, it wasn't just about winning on stage. Schwarzenegger and Mentzer's competitive nature spilled over into every aspect of their lives, shaping their behavior both on and off stage. Every workout, every meal, every decision was driven by their desire to outdo each other. It was a constant game of one-upmanship that fueled the flames of their rivalry and kept fans on the edge of their seats. And let's not forget the impact of their competitive nature on their behavior off stage. Schwarzenegger and Mentzer weren't just competitors, they were adversaries. Their feud wasn't confined to the gym or the stage, it permeated every aspect of their lives. From interviews to public appearances, every interaction was tinged with tension as they vied for the supremacy in the eyes of the bodybuilding world. The Olympia Showdown. Alright, let's rewind the clock and revisit the epic showdown at the 1980 Mr. Olympia, where tensions ran high and the drama was thicker than a protein shake. First off, the stage was set for a showdown of epic proportions. Schwarzenegger and Mentzer, two of the biggest names in bodybuilding, were going head-to-head for the coveted Mr. Olympia title. The competition was fierce, with both men bringing their A-game and leaving it all on stage. But behind the scenes, the tension between Schwarzenegger and Mentzer was palpable. Their feud had been simmering for months, fueled by verbal jabs and psychological warfare. As the competition heated up, so did their rivalry, with each man vying for victory and the bragging rights that came with it. Then came the moment of truth, the judges' decision. Schwarzenegger emerged victorious, claiming his 7th Mr. Olympia title.
Too many people here that want to be Mr. Olympias and they're not. So why rub it in?
But for Mentzer, the loss was more than just a setback. It was a blow to his pride and a validation of his worst fears. Feeling slighted and aggrieved, Mentzer didn't hold back his criticism of the judging panel, accusing them of bias and unfair treatment. The fallout from the 1980 Mr. Olympia was swift and far-reaching. Mentzer's accusations sparked controversy within the bodybuilding community, casting a shadow over Schwarzenegger's victory and igniting debates about the integrity of the sport. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.